Hey there, YouTubers. It's Omki here, bringing you a video. I just seen the X-Men First Class movie, and kind of want to get my thoughts on it. First and foremost, I would like to say that I really enjoyed the X-Men movies. Yeah, I even enjoyed the third one. I know it was a really bad movie. Oh, let me move my camera. Yeah. I know that the third movie was a really bad movie. There's no delusion there, but I simply enjoyed it due to the fact that, one, Kelsey Grammer played my favorite character, the Beast, and Ian McKellen could pretty much read the phone book and just make me completely and utterly all inspired because he's just that great of an actor. Hold on, let me get. I'm having some lighting issues. Sorry about that. But no. Anyways, X-Men First Class. I gotta say, this is probably by far the best X-Men movie of all time. And honestly, there was quite a few characters in it that I didn't actually know, and X-Men, during my middle school, high school era was like my favorite comic in the world to read, and in fact, one of my favorite comics, even while I was in college, was the new X-Men. Not the run where Beast becomes gay and a giant cat, but the run where you actually see the X-Men train the next generation of X-Men. So, yeah, again, First Class was awesome due to the fact that there actually were characters in it that I wasn't familiar with, and I actually had to go out and look up. Now, I don't know if I should put a spoiler warning on this. I guess I will right here and now. But if you know the comics and if you, seen any of the movies, you can guess where things are going to go. So, yeah, I guess spoilers, but anyways. The movie starts off, first off, with scenes from the first X-Men movie, Eric Lyncher being, dragged into the concentration camp, and we get a little backstory on Eric's life there, which you can imagine being a Jewish person in a concentration camp wasn't the happiest childhood. Let's see. There's a scene where Eric goes through some. I'm sorry, I'm really trying hard not to spoil certain things because it's really awesome. Goes through some traumatic experiences to help him realize his mutant abilities, and this is of course done by Kevin Bacon's character, which for some reason it's eluding me right now. It's Sean something. Yeah, sorry, I'm a little tired, so I'm not remembering things right now. But then we also meet Charles Xavier as a kid, which for some reason Mystique just happens to be in it, just going through his refrigerator for food, and thus Charles, pretty much hypnotizes his family into believing that this is his sister, and so Mystique lives with Charles Xavier, and it's like a surrogate sister. And there's some things I've seen other people when they reviewed this movie that they complained about, but to be honest, there were a bunch of things that, even though people were complaining about, I didn't have much of a problem with, due to the fact that I guess I read comic books and I realize that there are some things going on. I don't know, but so anyways, Kevin Bacon is essentially the big bad of this movie, and he is deliciously awesome in the film. He is just over the top evil on pretty much all accounts, and you gotta love it. I mean, this is classic comic book villain stuff that he's doing. He's essentially trying to get World War III started between the U.S. and Soviet Russia, and it's there's a lot of stuff dealing with the Cuban Missile Crisis and whatnot. But I got to admit that I was really, really worried about this film because, again, my favorite X-Men character has always been the Beast. And in the third X-Men movie, he's played by Kelsey Grammer, who is awesome. And when I heard that he was cast, I was 100% for. It was awesome. I mean, you can't get more elegant than Kelsey Grammer, really. Then, well, I mean, except for the real Kelsey Grammer, but then that's. But there's this whole idea throughout the movie of beauty, which is interesting because Mystique, for most of the movie, she is, well, in a transformed state pretty much all the time, trying to look normal. And, everyone has been telling her throughout the entire movie, no, you really need to, hide yourself, blah, 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 blah. And with Charles, I kind of understand it, due to the fact that, well, they are living in a society that, it's 1960s, the world of the 1960s, where anything that was different was considered evil and bad. And, Mystique is blue. I mean, people have complained about how he treats her when he first sees her. He's like, dude, you have really kick-ass powers, and that's really cool, and whatnot. But of course, later on in the film, he's always going on, hey, Mystique, you can't show people that you're blue. You can't do that. No. Just no. And again, I've heard people complain about it, and I don't see it as a problem because, again, it's the world of 1960s. If you are not with us, you are against us. You're different. You are against us. So I really saw it more as Charles Xavier, trying to protect Raven, and Eric Lencher, or Magneto in this film, as we really get to see his backstory and a lot of his and his pain, and like for a good chunk of the movie, he's actually going around the world hunting down the Nazis that tortured him and made his life a living hell. It's just. And there's some really sick gratification that I actually got from this. Again, knowing Eric's backstory and from what they show us. I mean, they show this really horrible scene. And again, I'm not going to ruin it for you because, again, it's one of these things I wasn't expecting. And then when I saw it, I was like really blown away. So I don't want to take that away from another potential viewer. But anyways, so Charles Xavier essentially hired by the government to, well, look into the Hellfire Club. And it turns out that, well, there are more mutants all over the place. In fact, one of the scientists that works for the government, Hank McCoy, is a mutant. Surprise, surprise! If you know who Hank McCoy is, he is the Beast, and it's just, it was really clever how they did the Beast in this movie as well. Again, I wasn't 100% sure how they were going to portray him and if the actor would have been able to portray a young Beast, but he does a phenomenal job. And really, again, I'm very biased because Beast is my favorite character on the entire X-Men world. It is very, very well done, and his feet are actually like monkey hands, and he hides them. He's very self-conscious about it, and he starts striking up a pseudo relationship with Mystique because due to the fact that they both are very self-conscious about the way that they look, and again, I really, really, really liked this relationship, and ultimately what it was really about. I mean, Beast is very self-conscious about his looks. He actually sort of, forces these ideas upon, Mystique as well, and throughout the whole movie, he's trying to develop his cure for the mutation, or the physical appearance of the mutation. He still wants his abilities, he just doesn't want to be a freak. And of course that backfires on him, and he becomes, well, the Beast we all know and love later on in the movie. We also get some interesting choices in characters. We get Angel, not the Angel everyone knows, with the big wings, but there's a female character named Angel who has butterfly wings, which honestly, when like dragonfly wings, and honestly, when I first saw the trailers, I thought it was Pixie, but that's neither here nor there. But the movie was just it was very good. They do a lot of stuff with the interactions with the students, and just kind of this whole idea of, again, playing off of the whole world of the 1960s is, if you are not with us, you were against us. Then you were the enemy, and you get this from the government. You get this from within the mutant community. Sebastian Shaw, that's his name. Gosh, Sebastian Shaw. I can't believe I forgot that name. Sebastian even gives this speech several times to the X-Men. One where he attacks the government facility where they are all, living in, and the second when he has a final confrontation with Magneto, which Sebastian Shaw is not really in the other X-Men movies, so you can probably guess how that goes. I was a little disappointed with the way that they ended the movie. And not that, at the end of the movie, again, this really should not be a surprise to anyone. Erica goes evil. And again, I wasn't surprised that they did that, but I was surprised that they did it so soon, and it was like in the last 10 minutes, and it's just kind of just thrown at you. It's kind of like, well, it's time for me to be evil now, so let's go. And that was the thing that I didn't like about it. It was just an all of a sudden thing. But and again, I hear people complain about how Mystique just joins Magneto's side in this, and honestly, this didn't surprise me at all, and the way that they did it didn't surprise me, because the way that they portrayed Charles Xavier and Mystique was that they were the best friend, sisterly type, and Charles can, he doesn't have to read her mind. He can just kind of pick up on what she's feeling. And, everyone in the film, including B, is just telling her, no, you have to hide who you really are. You can't be who you are. It's too dangerous. You're too different. And to juxtapose, Magneto throughout the entire movie saying, you are fine the way you really are. You are perfect. You are beautiful. And honestly, to me, this was a very powerful part of the movie because, she's at this point, she's, young and fairly impressionable and very depressed about the fact that she has to hide who she is. And here comes this guy who's essentially saying, you don't have to do that. Be who you are. He is saying the exact opposite of what everybody else in the world is telling her. Everyone else in the world is telling her that she has to be the exact same as everybody else. Even the guy that she likes gets on her case saying, your true form is not beautiful. You are blue. And, again, I get it. I understand. I think it was a brilliantly executed part of the movie. And again, Charles knows this. And, when there's a point in the movie where he essentially says to her, I know you want to go. Go. And, people complain, it's like, well, why is he just, go? It's like, well, he knows that how she feels, how she's tormented about the way she looks. And this is a guy offering her, look, you don't have to look like everybody else. You just need to be who you are. Which, again, I think is a much better message than what actually Charles Xavier was saying at the very beginning of the film. And throughout the film of how she should hide herself. And, I know I'm just kind of talking in circles here. Again, I'm kind of tired. I've had to sit and process this movie for a while to kind of really get my feelings on it straight. But, I mean, it was really well done. Again, the problem with the ending is that they ended it with Magneto becoming a bad guy. And the thing is that it seemed like it was so rushed. And plus, surprisingly, they set it up for a sequel. So they sequel bait, but, here's the thing. They have sequel baited, and it's confusing because they've already made Magneto the bad guy. Which, I honestly wonder if the writers and the director and Bryan Singer, who's the producer, were concerned with the flop of X-Men 3 and the flop of Wolverine, that if it was if people were going to want to see another X-Men film, so I think they figured, well, we'll just try to get, put all our cards out on the table right at the end, and, we'll set it up for a sequel, and if it makes enough money, we will try to rewrite stuff or something. I don't know. But it's like, thing is that, there's this, again, the way that it ends, it doesn't make much sense because it completely and utterly contradicts what happens at the beginning of X3. So, I don't know. I think it would have been better to have kept Eric on longer. But, anyways. Honestly, if you were a fan of the X-Men and whether you liked the comic books or the movies, I would highly recommend this film. Again, if you were a comic purist and you were expecting the movie to be 100%, like the comics, you're going to be very disappointed and very pissed off. because they kill a lot of characters off. Um, Again, it's a comic book film, and they kind of have to do these kinds of things every once in a while. So, but honestly, this was just the best X-Men film today. It far surpasses the first and the second, and those are two movies I really enjoyed. And the third one, yeah, it was a complete suck fest, but again, for me, I liked it just for the sheer fact that I had Kelsey Grammer as the Beast. Um, but, again, the movie's good. I liked it. Um, Definitely give it a watch. There's some really awesome cameos in the movie. There's no Stan Lee cameo, unfortunately. But the rest of the cameos in the film are phenomenal. Again, I'm not going to ruin any of them for you because I had no one ruining them for me. And when I went to see the film, they were complete shocks, and they're really awesome. The only thing I would warn is there is a scene where with one of the cameos where what the person says, fuck off. So, and I kid you not, there was a really old grandfather with his 6-year-old grandson sitting in the audience, like 2 seats in front of me, and I could feel how uncomfortable he was, because I could also, and I could see the grandson looking up at him and talking. I'm guessing what he's asking is, Grandpa, what does fuck mean? What's fuck? What does that mean? So if you have kids, personally, I would say don't go see the film, or if you do go see the film with them, just be ready for maybe some pretty awkward questions about word usage in the movie. Again, it had a severe lack of Wolverine, and as everyone knows, I hate Wolverine with a passion, so seeing less of him was amazing. But no, this was a good movie, and go see it. Go see it, and have fun. I don't believe there's anything after the credits. I've looked online to see if there's anything after the credits. I didn't see anything. So, and generally when the movie first comes out, especially a Marvel movie, and there's usually stuff at the end, and it's blocked all over the internet. So I severely doubt it. Anyways, I know I keep rambling on and going off topic, so I'm going to end the video now. So anyways, X-Men First Class, it's a good movie. Go see it. It's a lot of fun. Until then, this is Omki Scholar saying, take it easy, guys. If it's easy, take it twice. Later.